All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. In the wake of the rising security concerns in Afghanistan's Kandahar province, India has now decided to pull out diplomats and security personnel from the city. At least about 50 Indian diplomats and officials have been evacuated from Afghanistan's Kandahar consulate, and all of this is according to sources where this information is coming in. Now, we had earlier gathered from our sources that the consulate was being run by local Afghans, so it had remained open while Indians had been relocated. Now, India's Ministry of External Affairs is expected to issue a statement on the situation in Kandahar in some time from now. The evacuation is said to be a temporary measure as the Taliban has made inroads into the province earlier in the week. The war-ravaged nation is struggling to find its way out of adversity, with NATO and US troops having been pulled out of the country. India is, of course, keeping a very close watch on the volatile situation in the neighboring nation. Kandahar is the second largest city in Afghanistan and has been strategically and commercially very important. The Kandahar had served as the headquarters of the Taliban from the mid-1990s until 2000, when the group was ousted from power by the United States. All right, now to get us the latest in terms of what's in fact happening with respect to the Indian staff at the consulate in Kandahar, we are joined in by WION Siddhant Sibil, who's joining us live on this broadcast. Good morning to you, Siddhant. What's the latest on the story?
Well, the development which has happened is on, in fact, expected lines. In fact, WION last week broke a story that India has prepared a contingency plan when it comes to its diplomats and its citizens to bring them back if the situation escalates. And we know that in Kandahar and in the northern area in northern Afghanistan, Mazar-e-Sharif, which is the capital of the Balkh province, there we have seen increased violence, Taliban making territorial gains. Not that the Afghan security forces are not fighting them, they are also giving them a blow as well. But talking about Kandahar, the situation as of now stands is that the Indian consulate is being run by the Afghans, the local Afghans. That means that the consulate is open. If an Afghan comes, gives the visa, gives the passport, it will be sent to Kabul for any reason. It could be a visa, or it could be other reason, renewal of the passport in terms of if there is a minority member. But largely, if we talk about the situation in terms of how the consulates of the Indian government is running, the Indian side is running, we know that India has come out with a clarification as well that its consulate in Mazar-e-Sharif continues, while when it comes to Kabul, the situation is normal there. So the focus is that while the situation is deteriorated, India will make sure that India stands with the people of Afghanistan and with the government of Afghanistan. And that was the message that the Indian Foreign Secretary gave to the Afghan envoy as well. Remember, the Afghan envoy Farid had also briefed about the security situation in Afghanistan to the Indian side few days ago, and the basic focus right now is to make sure that the violence is reduced. That was the message by the Indian External Affairs Minister both in Tehran and in Moscow.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, there are reports that say the 50 Indian diplomats and security personnel who were in the Kandahar consulate have been brought back to Delhi. Can we confirm that?
Well, yes, of course, the Indian diplomats and the ITBP personnel have been brought back. And this was, in fact, part of the contingency plan. There are other contingency plans as well if situation escalates in Mazar-e-Sharif. That is the place where India has another consulate. But by and large, India knew about it. In fact, everyone knew about that this is a situation that will come one day. And it's just not India, other consulates have said as well. In fact, the Russians were one of the first to announce that they are closing their consulate in Mazar-e-Sharif. The Pakistanis, the Turkish government have also, in a sense, not closed but reduced the staff in their consulate in these parts of the country. But nonetheless, next week will be very important in terms of conversation on Afghanistan. Next week, Dushanbe in Tajikistan and Tashkent in Uzbekistan will be buzzing with activity because Tajikistan will see the SCO foreign ministers meeting, and also the SCO foreign ministers and the Afghan foreign minister meeting. That, of course, is crucial in terms of situation escalating in Afghanistan. And, of course, Tashkent will be another destination. There is a connectivity summit, but the fact that foreign ministers and heads of state of many governments will be coming to Uzbekistan will obviously bring a natural occasion for discussion on Afghanistan. Both countries, of course, share border with Afghanistan.
Absolutely, indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant Sibil, for joining us and getting us the latest on this developing story. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.